All right, hello everyone. My name is Manolis Finarolakis, the founder and creator of Reality Crowd TV, and I have with me today Sebastion Blackwell. And Sebastion, thank you for being here today.
How are you?
Great, I'm doing well. And Sebastion is going to create a film known as Error. It's called Error, and he actually tried to raise the money through Indiegogo, and he has an interesting story to tell us about that. So Sebastion, please tell us about your film and about your campaign on Indiegogo.
So Error is about a man who makes a mistake in life. He's lonely and he decides to call an escort service, which ends up rocking his world, where his next door neighbor comes over and the world of prostitution is something he didn't want to get into, and so he makes a big mistake by calling a prostitute. I'm not going to tell you the entire story, but it's a dramatic comic thriller with a really deep element, as you could possibly imagine, of someone who makes a mistake because they call a prostitute.
Interesting. So, yes, I'm glad you're not going into the details, but thank you for telling us the theme. And so, you tried Indiegogo. What happened there?
Well, I found that in the platform of Indiegogo, you have to give perks to people who give money. And for me, I mean, if someone gives me a key ring or a T-shirt that really doesn't have any value except for, I mean, I was explaining to a friend of mine, someone will give me a baseball hat to a college football team or to a professional team, and there's a specific energy behind that team that just drives you. You think, this is an amazing team, they have amazing coaches and players. And for me, it's about the content and not so much about just actually, oh, okay, so I'm going to give you $20, I'm going to give you, $150, and you get a key ring or a baseball hat or a T-shirt. For me, it's the content of the film itself that holds weight. And I'm a socially conscious driven director and writer, and I feel that if the film itself has something that drives you, that touches you personally, that should be the driving force to giving money, and not, oh, if I give $20, I'm going to get a keychain, or if I get $20, I'm going to get, a baseball hat, and I feel that if someone gives money, they should be producers, that they should come in and they should be a part of the film, that they say, this is a great idea, I love your writing, I love the talent behind it, and I love the message that you're giving, so how can I be part of that, as opposed to nickel and diming is fine, but I want somebody to come in and say, this is great, we love the concept, we love your shots, we love your actors, we love what you're doing, as opposed to saying, you make more money by small increments, as opposed to, someone giving larger sums, or somebody even gives smaller sums of saying, but we just want to be part of it. It affects us as human beings.
Interesting. And what I think you just said was you described, in other words, you want the perks to be more meaningful. You don't want a perk to be a material thing, because that has nothing to do with the show itself. And naturally, perks about prostitution, you could get very dicey. You obviously can't do certain things. But what I'm thinking about is this. You want to provide a perk that gives them the experience. So what you need to do is design perks that give them the experience. It doesn't have to be a material thing, but you have to be able to frame it in a way that is appealing to them. It sounds like to me that you have an amazing perk that you can offer them, and you want them to be a part of your show and the part of the process and a part of the experience. And that's your perk right there. You just have to figure out how to package it. You have to figure out what the economics are behind that. I mean, have you thought of that potentially to almost like go against the grain and think of a different way to integrate the experience that you're having with the show and integrate it into their lives? Because Reality Crowd TV, right, this is what I'm saying. When you go through a campaign, people who go through them realize that everyone has their own reality TV show as they go through a campaign. If you could bring them into your world, suddenly you have a new perk. I mean, have you thought of that? Or?
Kind of in a way, but more of on more of a like, for example, I know that Ed Burns shoots a lot of short films, and he goes right to iTunes, and he knows he's going to get people that are going to buy that directly from iTunes, and he's going to get that out. And web content is huge right now, and also Netflix is huge, and also Amazon is huge, and so you have all these other platforms that can distribute your films. And for me, it's like, to get an individual to come in to say, we want to sponsor your film, we want to be a part of your film, and how they can be a part of that film is based upon, like I said earlier, like what they get from it, the personal perspective of it. So, even though my film is about a prostitute and a lonely man, it's not about that. It's about the human condition. It's about why people choose to make decisions in life, and in that decisions, they go, I have made the biggest mistake in my life, or it's people who live this way because this is what their life is about. And within that content, there's no right, there's no wrong in it. This is the way life is. And so, I would like to have somebody to say, we love how in our society, we make choices in our society, and there is no right or wrong. It's only your choice is what drives you forward to your next step in life.
I'd love to have a spiritual conversation with you after this, because I think we're on the same wavelength. But yeah, so I guess if you need help in the future and you're thinking about how can you make your wonderful story happen and provide a meaningful perk, like these are the things that we're going through right now too. How can we provide meaningful perks when you're selling an idea? The idea and the experience is what you're selling. Now you have to find the meaning. And so, would you like to be on Reality Crowd TV one day?
I would love that. I would love to think that. I think, I'm a former yoga teacher, and a lot of things that I've always based my life on is the emotional body, what your experiences are, and how you relate to society today. And that's what drives me as a performer, as an actor, and a writer. And I would love to be part of that. I would love to think that, who I am, my experiences, can actually help another individual or stimulate another individual to drive their project forward. So, Great.
Well, thank you very much, Sebastion. And you know what? You've already created the film Air. Now you just need the money for it. It's done. It's a done deal. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you.